Well, I don't know if it was an issue as much as it was just they put some good at-bats together and put him in some stressful situations right from the beginning. You know, the Young hits the double, which is standard operation in this ballpark when he's playing at home. And then and then the walk, and then he had to pitch through a lot of mess and got a couple punch outs, and then they came up with a big ground ball base hit. So they just made him work. He threw 30 pitches or 30 plus pitches, but him being able to control that inning is really the definition of the game, or it was a difference in the game. Because if he gets out of control there, or the moment beats him, it's a completely different game. So after that, he bounced back and was in complete control the next couple innings with very low pitch counts and very much in the attack mentality. So it was a good outing for him.
AJ, you guys win both games 8-2, 16 runs, 24 hits, and it's not just Jose Altuve, it's Springer and Correa, and 1 through 9. Are we really seeing one of the best hitting team in baseball continue this in the playoffs?
Well, I mean, we're judged over 162 to get to this point, and we put up some pretty good numbers, and we have a number of guys that have contributed. So obviously, you're seeing what's possible when we link things together, and the hitters start to feed off of one another, and we have a lot of guys that are putting up really good at bats. So where it fits in the whole spectrum is up to you guys, but we're pretty confident that when we put good at bats together, we're going to score runs from a couple different spots of the order. And when you see, Altuve still had a pretty good day, 4 times on base, but other guys in our lineup are here to hit too, and it's nice to have that many threats throughout the order any given day.
Richard,
would you talk about two things? One being up 2-0, the importance of that, taking care of business here. The other thing is, since you guys came back from Tampa, it feels like just everything has clicked. I know a lot of stuff was going on. Would you just talk about all the stuff that's happened to the team since then?
Yeah, well, as far as being up 2-0, it's just what we've done so far to play 2 games. It hasn't gotten us anywhere yet, other than in a good position moving into Game 3. We won't take anything for granted. This is a team that's very, very laser focused on winning the series, and you don't win the series with 2 wins; you win it with 3. So our guys will have an off day tomorrow. We'll work out at Fenway, and then we'll have the game on Sunday and try to close it out as fast as possible. That's the goal. As far as the other stuff, this has been a team that's gotten some energy and played very, very well since that return from that relocated series. Some of that is due to getting healthy and seeing what's possible at the end of the season. Some of it is the acquisitions that we made that gave a boost to that clubhouse. Some of it is simply our main goal is to win the World Series. And once we could start to focus on that in September, and we got to clinch the division at home, things have really clicked for us. So pinpointing it on one thing is probably unfair because of how much has happened. But I'm proud of our approach, and I'm proud of how we're handling it.
With that said, can you just talk about how everything kind of comes together? You talk about being healthy, the acquisitions, and if it gives you a bit of while you're energetic, but a bit of calmness as you move forward to try to close this thing out?
Yeah, well, we're a confident group. I mean, that goes without saying because of the attention to detail the preparation we've done, the attention to detail, the work that these guys have put in, have really set us up to be very confident. And we've put a lot of wins on the board, which brings confidence. We've got guys with big numbers that brings confidence. And then, the more momentum you can get, whether you believe in it or not, it's real in that room. And these guys believe, we can't wait to get to the next game. We have an off day tomorrow. We'll welcome that. But, I'm sure most of these guys would just soon play tomorrow just because of the energy that's created when you get a couple wins like this and you see that you can win a series. I think the mentality of our team won't change, and we won't take anything for granted, like I said, because it's only 2 games.
You haven't had to use Morton or Peacock or McCullers yet. Have you decided on a Game 3 starter?
Yeah, Peacock's going to start Game 3. Morton's going to start Game 4, if there is one.
What did you think about the scenario where they intentionally walk out to get to Correa, and then he obviously comes through like he expects to do?
Yeah, I mean that's one of the dangers in our lineup is you've got to pick which guy to go after, and sometimes you're right, sometimes you're not, and it puts the other manager in a tough spot. And I've learned quickly to manage your own team. Don't manage the way that the other guy would manage, and And it worked out the first time when he walked Altuve and Carlos got out, and then the next time Carlos got a good pitch to hit and comes through. Obviously, it puts a ton of pressure on a lot of different people. Some of it, the pressure's on their own pitcher, that leaves them no room for error, and Carlos made him pay the second time.
AJ, did you feel like maybe Dallas was a little too wired, too much adrenaline, and then after the second, was it vintage Dallas?
No, I don't think he was too wired. I mean, I think he was in duress from the very beginning. He could lead off double, and then the walk, and then there's action. There was it's a good team across the way, so they're going to put pressure on him when they have an opportunity. The walk was a little uncharacteristic when he's usually locked in, but then he got the ball on the ground, and Bradley hit the ball well placed up the middle, and they were able to do some things. But he collected himself and did a good job of getting a couple punch-outs against the top of the order, which Bogarts and Pedroia are really tough guys, especially against left-handed pitching. So, he didn't unravel, which is the biggest moments of the game were really at the beginning of the game.
Right in front.
Two questions. Why Peacock, and is Morton 100% not available for Game 3?
Well, Peacock's really good. That's why Peacock. I mean, he's had an exceptional season as a starter. He's filled a couple different roles, and he's earned this start. So I think his effectiveness, his calmness, his ability to throw strikes, he's got real weapons. He gets a ton of swing and miss. So his season speaks for itself, which is why we would turn to him in Game 3. Whether Morton's available or not in Game 3, I guess we'll find out.
Any last ones for AJ? Take one more.
AJ, that sixth inning where you guys, Correa has they intentionally walk Altuve. Correa has a double, Gaddis on and on. What's that like from a manager's perspective, where you almost can't keep up with it, and the hits are just coming and the crowd's getting into it? I mean, it was almost peak Astros playoff baseball this far.
Right. Well, the crowd was the loudest I've heard on the Gaddis double. I mean, there was a lot going on there, and they were into it before the pitch, and then Gaddis delivers with a bullet off the fence. So, as a manager, you're sort of removed from all of the emotion of the moment and the energy that's created in the building. I mean, obviously, it's we're moving things left and right and trying to make sure that we're on top of things. But there is a moment where you can enjoy your players stepping up and delivering. And obviously, Correa's double. We're at the top step. As soon as we get back to our seats or where we stand for the next batter, and Gaddis kind of delivers the knockout punch of the day. There was still some stress later in the game, but we took control of the game in that particular inning and never looked back.
Okay.